Okay, this is Diane K. Spear again, finishing up my little talk on finding questionnaires. This is just really short. It's not as in-depth as you might need, so make sure that you contact a librarian for some assistance if you need help. So I'm looking for the claustrophobia questionnaire. So I'm scrolling down to the databases again because there is a database called the Tests and Measures. No, I'm sorry, it's Mental Measurement Yearbook database. So I'm clicking on Psychology, and I'm going to look in the Mental Measurement Yearbook to see if there are any records for this questionnaire. So now that I'm there, I'm going to scroll down, and it should be right here under Recommended, Mental Measurement Yearbook, and you can click on this to read more about that. Anything you find in here, most of these, I'd say 98% of these are going to cost money. So you really don't kind of want to find your questionnaire in there because you don't want to have to pay money to use it. But I'm going to go ahead and look for it, and you see there's a bunch of different fields here. What they're scoring, the status, the purpose. This is very good for some of the other classes you'll be taking. Let's run a search for this questionnaire, and I could use the, let's see, test name and look. And I've got 0 hits, okay? So for me that's very good because it means I'm probably not going to have to pay for it to use it if I can find it. I still will have to get some permission to use it. Okay, so hold on a second. Okay, so I've taken us back to the library's homepage, and I'm going to go to 2 psychology databases and show you 2 fields they have that are very helpful for finding information about instruments that you might use. So I'm scrolling down, and I'm going to go to Psychology Databases, and then from there I'm going to hit Psychology over here in the tab, and I've already signed in, so it should let me right in without having to sign in again. And I'm going to scroll down and start with PsycArticles. The 2 databases I'm talking about are PsycInfo and PsycArticles. Both of these databases have a test and measures field. So then you could put the name of the test you're interested in, or put in like look for a keyword in a specific title of a test or measures instrument. So I'm going to use a drop-down menu, and I'm going to go down to test and measures right here, and I'm going to plop claustrophobia questionnaire right in there, and I'm going to run a search. Let me show you that you also can do that right in here under test and measures here. You also can limit to the by year publication, and these are APA journals. Let's go ahead and run that search. And we have 4 articles that somewhere in the record, because I can go read these articles right here, and you see there's also cited references that you can go after if you want to. If I click on the record for this article, I will see that there's a field. You see these other fields here for, let's see, test and measures right here, and it's talking about the claustrophobia questionnaire, the state trait anxiety inventory, and visual analog scale. Those are the 3 that they're talking about, that they made note of them in their record. So let me go back to the results again, and you can look through these to see if they tell you any strengths, weaknesses, threats, or opportunities, benefits of using this scale, or maybe any special licenses that are needed to run this scale. See if it's been updated, see if it's been revised. Okay, so let me pause a minute. So remember when I told you that another database that has the test and measures field was called PsycInfo? Well, they're both EBSCO databases, so I can actually click on Choose Databases on the top here, and I can add PsycInfo, let's see, where did it go, right here, and search them both at the same time. I'm going to instead just remove that and just use PsycInfo and say OK, and now we're in a totally new database. We're not in PsycArticles anymore. And you can see there is still, let's see, there's still a test and measures field right here. And I can actually run the search again, and now we're searching PsycInfo, not PsycArticles. You could also run searches for just claustrophobia questionnaire anywhere in the the text of an article, and see if they give you any information if you don't get enough with just this search. But I've got 47 hits with the claustrophobia questionnaire being somewhere in the record for these articles here. This one, of course, you'd have to enter library loan. This one is linking out to a different database to see if we have it. Same thing here. If you find this is in, a lot of these are going to a different database and you see that it happens to be the same database, you might want to go and use that database by itself to find your information instead of having to link every time. Here's the full text, and the interesting thing about this one, as you can see, remember we're in one database right now. This is the name of the title of your article, and then you've got your subject heading showing your authors and the journal information. But I want you to note this article was written in 2008, and you've got the references for that article here. And a lot of these are sometimes linked, that you can just go straight to one of the references this author used. Or you can see time cited in this database. That means that 37 times somebody has used this article in the references, and that's a really good way to build on the topic that you're looking for. This is also called snowballing. Okay, so like I said, you can either go straight to the library's homepage. So I click back to the library homepage here and scroll down the databases, and you can look for those two databases under psychology. We talked about using PsycArticles, which is right here, and then we also talked about using PsycInfo. And I used PsycArticles, and then I went to the Choose database on the top and switched over to PsycInfo because they're made by the same company, so I can do that. If you just click on PsycInfo, if you don't want to go that way, you can just go into PsycInfo and run the same search with a drop-down menu. And you go ahead and pick the tested measures field. And it looks just like the other database, but it's actually looking, and some of these articles could be overlapped or linked back and forth, but it's actually a totally different database. Okay, thank you. Hope that helps you.